The club has a long history here in Trenton. We've been in Trenton for over 75 years. Me, myself, I've been with the club for 14 years. I started as the youth development director. During that time, I was working with kids directly. We had just closed the second site, which was in the West Ward of Trenton, and this was our only facility. It was rough. We had a budget of about $300,000. A lot of weeks we didn't know, the staff didn't know if we were getting paid. We had a full-time staff of about 4 people and about 4 part-time people. We were probably about 150 to 180 days behind on most of our bills. And you know, things just weren't as good as they are today. We struggled a lot. What I'm proud to say is throughout that whole time, the kids never knew the struggles that were going on behind the scenes. We always put a good face on. We came with the same enthusiasm that we come with today. Back in 1998, we were serving about 65 kids a day and had about 300 to 400 members. Today that number has grown. We're serving about 1,200 kids a day with about 2,300 members. I tell everyone when I first started, I said I broke Cal Ripken's record of consecutive streak because being that I was the only person running programs, it was about 3 years before I missed a day of work. I mean, because I felt like if I didn't come to work, the show wouldn't go on just because we didn't have a whole lot of staff. But what keeps me going is the kids' faces, their smiles, seeing kids that are upset and crying because they have to leave when their parents or mom comes to pick them up. And just knowing that you're making a difference in a child's life. I mean, this is something I would do if I wasn't getting paid for it. So, like a lot of kids, my dream was to be a professional ball player, but I wouldn't trade this in for anything. I mean, because there's, you know, this is my career, but it's definitely not work. I enjoy every day of it. Comcast has been a long-time supporter since I've been around. Everything from our special events to most recently the Digital Connectors program. Dave Breidinger, who's our past president, has been a long-time board member, and Comcast has been very supportive of him supporting us. And Digital Connectors has been great. It's an opportunity for our young people to come in, learn web design, learn how to put a computer together, take it apart, and then at the same time give back to the community and teach senior citizens and our younger kids in the program how to use a computer and how to do word processing. So it's a great thing. A lot of kids come here for athletic programs. Some are forced to come for after-school programs because mom says they have to come. These kids, some of these kids that were in this program were looking for something to hook on to. And every kid is an athletic and every kid is an artist. So because we don't have a lot of programs in the technology field, it was nice to see us bring some kids in and give some kids a voice who didn't have one prior to this. So I think it's changing the community, and we helped save a couple kids' lives from keeping them out on the street. I like to say we don't do any one thing great, but we do a lot of things really, really good. And any kid that comes through our doors, there's going to be something for that little boy or that girl or that teen to hook on to.
I come to the Boys and Girls Club because it allows me to help my community, not only through digital connectors, but through different ways, learn more, and be engaged more, and be more productive inside my community. The Boys and Girls Club gives me an opportunity to learn every single day that I step into it. It is, in my own words, my sanctuary, the place where I've learned the most, the place where I've grown the most. I don't live in the best areas of Trenton, so I see, what happens when you don't apply yourself, when you don't look for the best option for yourself. So by me coming through the Boys and Girls Club, I've learned that you take initiative in what you really want to do with your life and make sure that you fight for it and you work for it and you strive for it so that one day you achieve it. And you never let anybody tell you different from that. And once you do that and once you become in that mindset, you won't become like the people that you see every day that felt as though their life was worthless because of where they lived. They let their surroundings define them. What I say is you let your surroundings motivate you.
Not everyone is optimistic. They think that wild because I come from Trenton, because my parents don't have money, I do not have the best resources, I cannot be successful. But through the Boys and Girls Club, they motivate us to know that if we work hard enough, we will succeed and we will become great. Be great, which is our motto.
I'm a city kid. I grew up in the city. And just to see kids overcome everything they have to overcome it touches my heart. You know, anytime we do our Youth of the Year dinner and kids get up there and say their speeches, you know, it's just unbelievable. They can do things I could never do in life. They're brave, they're courageous, they're independent, and they're special. We're talking about doing a dinner program right now because some kids don't have anything to eat when they get home. So we're looking into that. We have kids who, you know, have to walk through a crack-infested area just to get to school or to get to the club. We have kids that are gang members that don't want to be, that have been forced to be gang members, but they come to the club, and from the school dismissal until we close our doors and cut off the lights because they really don't want to get into mischief, but they've been forced to in the street. And in the street, they have to be tough, but here they know this is a place where they can be themselves. If you talk to any of our kids, they often say this is their second home.